Good morning. This is the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Monday, March 2nd. Looking at precipitation over the past week, we had some light amounts here across central portions of the Great Basin, basically a tenth to a quarter of an inch, some locally heavier pockets. Of course, some of the higher terrain areas of Utah and western Wyoming, not much at all up north. You can see that it was overall a below normal precipitation week given by the areas in red. Even areas that did get wet, they were basically near 50% of normal for the week. Snowfall over the past 72 hours on the left-hand side finally crossed the Sierra front. Some significant snow accumulation, some of the first snows that they've had since January. Also, some of this extended into the mountains of northern Utah and western Wyoming, anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow. Snow cover on the map, right-hand side, still continues to be quite plentiful across the higher elevations, several feet of snowfall, especially across western Wyoming, the mountains of central Idaho, and even some of the lower elevations across northern Nevada, northern Utah, several inches of snow all the way down to the valley floor, as well as some of the higher terrain in southern Nevada, which has been bone dry as well over the past several weeks. In terms of how that's affecting our fuels, 100-hour fuels here, driest in northeastern Nevada in the single digits, otherwise 11 to 15%, which is a little below normal for this time of year. It is the 1,000-hour fuels, which are significantly below normal, especially in the southern portions of the geographic area, single digits to low teens. Those numbers we typically see as we get into the latter part of May. So it's been a dry middle part of the winter in a lot of these areas to the south. Looking at satellite imagery, deep low pressure off the Baja coast. Some showers through there, but you can see we're kind of in the middle. There's a cold front trying to push in from central Idaho and into Wyoming. That'll bring some cooler temperatures down there. Otherwise, a weak ridge of high pressure trying to nose in from the Pacific Northwest into western portions of the Great Basin, but overall that does mean clearing skies in many areas. So for later this afternoon, there's that deep low, not really a consequence to us. There's that high pressure ridging building in with northeasterly flow. That's drier air. There'll be some clouds and maybe some light precipitation over far northern areas of the geographic area up in the mountains of central Idaho. On the right-hand side, good overall dispersion. Areas in the white, excellent overall dispersion. We're starting to see those longer days taking hold now. Not as much of the way of long-lasting inversions. Transport winds pretty good from the northeast, especially areas we see the highlighted orange and purple shades, gusts of 25 to 35 there. Equally important, the vertical mixing, several thousand feet here on the right-hand side where you see these values in the yellow to orange. Now on Tuesday, that low is still further south. We're kind of in between weather systems, weak high pressure building in, so return to near seasonable temperatures, if not slightly warmer than normal, except some colder air up here in the north. Dispersion still overall fairly good, a little bit less of the white area, starting to see more of the red, and that's a consequence of high pressure, which tends to bring some lowering of the mixing heights. We see some of those mixing heights here in the green, no longer shaded in a yellow or orange, still 2,000 feet above ground level in some of these areas, but not nearly as good as they were the previous day. Still decent, though, across parts of the Snake River Plain and southern areas of the region. Now on Wednesday, looks like we are in zonal flow, weak westerly flow. There's a deep low pressure area moving out of the Gulf of Alaska. That's the main consequence. Very weak high pressure ridging. I wouldn't even call it a high pressure ridge, just kind of zonal flow. So we're starting to see, because we're not in the vicinity of low pressure anymore, we don't have all that white area, which is excellent overall dispersion. We're kind of yellow to red. There are some lingering areas of inversions that may linger into the daytime hours through the afternoon where you see those shades of purple. Those will be the worst dispersion areas. Now we notice the transport winds really slacking off, light and variable where you see the purple shades. Only decent transport flow will be across northern regions where we see some of those wind speeds gusting over 25 to 35 miles per hour, especially across western Wyoming. Vertical mixing best in the areas of the yellow to orange shades. The worst where you have those inversions pockets in the purple. Utah Clearing Index, probably best values today. We see some green to yellow shades. The purple areas is where you're still hanging on to some inversion type behavior, which will progressively get worse to this date as we go through Wednesday and high pressure builds in. So today probably the best dispersion day. Tomorrow decent, especially across southern areas, and really takes a nosedive on Wednesday. Not much in the way of significant precipitation for the Great Basin the next 3 days. Most of it either to our south or to our north. There could be some light snow amounts over the higher terrain of Idaho and western Wyoming, just anywhere from 1 to 4 inches. Now on Thursday, we start seeing this low pressure gather strength, these stronger winds pushing the Pacific Northwest, southwest winds increasing. Hence, western areas will see excellent overall dispersion. Now as we go into Friday, that storm system deepens, moves closer. You see the dispersion on the right-hand side, good in many areas, in Nevada, Utah, the Arizona Strip. We'll be watching possibly some precipitation starting to shift in. You see how that moisture explodes Saturday across the Great Basin. So we're looking at valley rains, mountain snows through here, and probably lingering on Sunday. But good overall dispersion over the weekend, but it will come with some precipitation. Days 4 and 5, this is basically Thursday afternoon through Saturday afternoon. The Sierra front starts coming into play, as well as the higher terrain of Idaho with precipitation. But it'll be just after that, as we go into Sunday and Monday, that we'll see significant precipitation move back into most of the Great Basin. 8 to 14 day outlook shows slightly warmer than normal conditions, near normal in other areas, nothing extreme. We do see a return of precipitation, better chances, southern areas, so southern Nevada, Arizona Strip, southern half of Utah, Nevada into the Tahoe area would be the best chances. But still even some wetness to the north. So a return to a slightly wetter pattern by next week, which is March 9th through the 15th. This concludes our briefing. Next one will be this Wednesday. Have a great day.